Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Data Playbook. I'm sorry that I missed last week, but now we're back for playoffs, and we're starting off with a couple Saturday games, so let's get right into it. And then the Saturday night game is Green Bay going to Chicago with a good divisional matchup, where Green Bay is slightly favored on the money line with a spread of 1.5 and a total line of 44.5. You've had a chance to look at their season totals, so now I'm going to flip over to their season averages. And then just walking through their rankings, you have a scoring rate of 16, a passing rate of 18, and a rushing rate of 15 for Green Bay. Defensively, they have an allowed scoring rate of 11, allowed passing rate of 10, and an allowed rushing rate of 18. For the Bears offensively, you have a scoring rate of 9, a passing rate of 12, and then a rushing rate of 3. And for their defense, you have an allowed scoring rate of 23, allowed passing rate of 22, and an allowed rushing rate of 27. For your quarterbacks, you have Jordan Love and Caleb Williams. Here are their season totals, and then flipping over for their seasonal averages. And for their turnovers, you have 6 interceptions for Love and 2 fumbles lost due to sacks. And for Williams, you have 7 interceptions with 1 fumble lost due to sacks. For their team carry share, you have Jordan Love at 10.3% of the rushing carry share and 10.7% of the rushing yard share. And you have Williams at 16.4% of his team's rushing carry share and 17% of his team's rushing yard share. Your starting running backs in this game are going to be Josh Jacobs and DeAndre Swift. Once again, here are their seasonal totals, and then I'm going to switch over their seasonal averages here. So if you need any of this information, go ahead and give the video a pause. And for their share, you have Josh Jacobs at 51.4% of the rushing carry share and 50.1% of the rushing yard share, giving him the largest total by far. But the second most carries and the second most rushing yards on the team comes from Emmanuel Wilson. For Swift, he gets about 47.5% of the rushing carry share and 48.2% of the rushing yard share, with about a third of it going to Kyle Monagai. And then moving to your receiving game, you have Christian Watson and Rome Odunze. Here are their seasonal averages, and neither of them have any turnovers this season. So I'll go right into the charts. So once again, if you need this information, go ahead and give the video a pause. But looking at their share, you have Watson at about 13.6% of their target share and 17.7% of the rushing yard share, which does not make him the most productive receiver on the team. And for Rome Odunze, he's at 17.7% of the target share and 17.2% of the receiving yard share, which does give him the most targets on the team, but not quite the most receiving yards on the team. Your number 2 receivers are Romeo Doubs and DJ Moore. Moving over for their seasonal averages here, and their weekly breakdowns if you need it. And with no turnovers, we'll go right to the charts, where you have Doubs at about 21% of the target share and 21% of the receiving yard share, making him the most productive receiver on Green Bay. And for DJ Moore, you have him at 16.7% of the target share and 17.8% of the receiving yard share. And then for your tight ends, you have Luke Musgrave and Colston Loveland. Here are the seasonal averages and no turnovers. So once again, as usual, going right to the charts, where you have Musgrave at 7.6% of the target share and 7.3% of the receiving yard share, and Loveland at 16.1% of the target share and 18.6% of the receiving yard share. That makes Loveland about the third most targeted receiver, but he does have the most receiving yards on the team. So that concludes all your offensive data. Just looking at the rankings head-to-head, you have about an average offense here from Green Bay, going against a pretty poor defense here from Chicago. You especially want to look at this allowed scoring rate of 23 against a scoring rate of 16, so that does give the advantage to Green Bay there. However, Chicago does have a pretty good offense, going against about an average defense, especially with a scoring rate of 9, which does end up being kind of close to this allowed scoring rate of 11, so that might be a close matchup there. I think the one thing that Chicago has here offensively is this rushing rate of 3 against this allowed rushing rate of 18. So if they can really beat them up on the ground, Chicago really has a chance of winning this game. But otherwise, a lot of the rankings tend to point to Green Bay in this game. So just based on the numbers, that's the way I would lean. And then similar, if you've seen the other videos, I'm going to go through the defense real fast. I'm not going to really talk about it. I'm just going to flash up the screens because they're not fully complete. But if you do need it, or if it's useful for you, then go ahead and give the video a pause and look through the data. So here we're starting with our left defensive ends. These are the left defensive tackles. The right defensive tackles. The right defensive ends. And then your weak side linebackers. The middle linebackers. The strong side linebackers. The left side cornerbacks. Your strong safeties. And then these are your free safeties. The right side cornerbacks. And then finally your nickelbacks. And that wraps up our data for that game. I hope that you enjoyed and got something out of it. And if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And leave a comment on what other data you might want to see in the future. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you for the Sunday games.